This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
So, earlier in the week, I decided to, on a whim, sort of start exploring some more Fender guitars. Mostly because I've been somewhat disillusioned by the standard. So, I really like the Player 2, but I had one fundamental criticism of that guitar, which was that the neck shape is the thing kind of holding it back. So the next logical thing to do is to keep working my way up the Fender product line until you reach the Fender Vintera, which now this is quite a chunky neck. This was bought from Project Music in Exeter. It's had some adjustment in the shop by Phil there. This one weighs about £7 and 14 ounces, I think, 14 or 15, so getting close to £8, which is a bit of a common theme with Fender guitars in general at the moment, and I would say that seems to be across the whole thing. Like, your weight could quite easily be getting up to about £8.
Red Zoom?
I think she's talking about the So what makes the Vintera the Vintera, this is basically would be their classic player, right? It's where it's born from. We've got an actual Rosewood here. I think we've got an outer body. It's quite tidy looking. I think they do nitro versions of these as well. It looks alright in general, actually. So that's kind of good. Nice contours. The body looks maybe a bit thicker somehow than the Player 2. I got the Player 2 over here. Whoa! I'll just trip over some stuff. This is the Player 2. And you'll notice also there's a 2-point trem. I think the plastics actually look a little bit better on the Player 2. But the main difference that you're going to notice, really, this has got a bit more of a satin finish, and this is a much chunkier neck, which in some ways suits me better. Well, in all ways suits me better. But for other people, we also then get a truss rod adjustment here, which is, I guess, the one downside. We've got a 7.25 radius versus 9.5 over there, so that's going to feel a bit different too. Right, so, oh, there goes my tip. Just the tip. Put a little dab of glue on that, I think. I think there was someone even, hopefully you may have caught this one, who did say in the comments about checking out a Vintera, because in that Player 2 video I sort of asked, is this the best value guitar that Fender are making at the moment? And I think they suggested the Vintera. I'm just going to switch to the Player 2 a second. There's something feels different about this body. This just feels more contoured. Maybe I'm going mental, but this neck feels maybe even a little chunkier than my K-line Springfield. So definitely you're going to notice a big difference in feel between the Vintera and the Player 2. And I guess your main thing going on here is that neck shape is just drastically different. And the neck shape is one of those things that typically you don't really see many cheaper guitars with a thicker neck for whatever reason. And I think Vintera would be the cheapest Fender with a neck this size, and it's still what, like 830 towards £900. But that's a very respectable guitar, I think. And certainly I want to do a video soon pitting this against a PRS Silver Sky SE, which I think is a logical sort of choice to make, given that they're both sort of mid-60s Strat type guitars, and seeing if there is any sort of obvious winner here. I think one of the key differences between this and the Player 2 would be that the Player 2 has rolled fingerboard edges as well, so I'll get a proper video coming up on that as well, sort of the Player 2 versus the Vintera, and see if that can help anyone make any choices on that. But in general, that's quite a cool little guitar. I think the colour's good. Yeah, that's the only thing for me, is the weight is potentially like a little bit heavier than I would have liked, but other than that, not really finding any flaws. It's got a set of 10s on it, this one, that Phil put on for me at Project, but yeah, a cool guitar, not bad at all. You know, at this price I'd be expecting a pretty good guitar, and I think they've delivered on this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you've had bad experiences. I like the neck shape, I like the sound of the pickups. Kind of in pretty decent territory with this one, I think.